Hey guys, it's Ozzy here, and I don't normally make Planet Zoo videos, but with my excitement for Planet Zoo 2 coming out, I thought, why not? So I'm usually a player that plays with mods, but I've recently uninstalled all the mods, and I thought I'd try to build a zoo, no mods, and just see how we go. Now, I'm also not a realistic builder. I do not build. I am too special ed to be able to like actually construct buildings and so forth with these sort of things. So I'll typically use blueprints like these sort of things right here. But I thought for a first video for Planet Zoo, let's just do a little tour of this zoo that I just started the other day. Again, don't expect anything special. One of my first times actually like adding these sorts of things and crap. I normally wouldn't even do this. I play usually like almost a roleplay style to where I build my own little sanctuaries or private sanctuaries and so forth. Anyhow, the first enclosure here, well, technically is this little window view into the wild dogs, African wild dogs. But alternatively, we have this enclosure here, which is just for the Aldabra tortoises. And yeah, nothing special, but there's a group of them in there. Another look into the wild dogs here, you can see one of their hides at the back. We'll focus on this side for now, so that's their little watering spot. And then we have this spot here, which you can go in and be essentially inside the enclosure. Look at this fella. Oh, you can reach for the glass and pat them, apparently, which I think is pretty cool. You can see a couple of them coming down now. And again, this guy glitching through the glass. And then more insides into their enclosure, so one more hide, which is also a, well, that's their food tray. Alright, so here we have this enclosure, and this one is for the African leopard, as you can see. If we can actually see the actual animal is the next question. They've been fed, so I'm surprised they haven't come running for the food. Now, this enclosure is pretty big, and there is only two of them in here. Bit of landscaping, blah blah blah. And then here we have the Fusa. We've got, well, I had two of them, now there's apparently three. I do have breeding off now, but I did have breeding on for a bit, so I'm assuming that's why there is now a third. This is the Fusa, just a little habitat, lots of climbing structure and so forth. I tried to blend in / hide the watering tap thing as much as possible, even though it's in creative, and these animals can't starve or dehydrate or whatever. I like to still include those things anyway. And also, there's a little cheeky one in the tree here. So anyway, then you move on here, elephants. Then technically here there's a little food court. I don't even have deer in the zoo yet, but I use the deer. But alternatively, a little food court. But then you'd go this way, and we'll start by going left. Little blueprint water fountain, pretty cool. So here we have the gharial. But yeah, anyway, so can't see them there. We'll go up here. Another little excess viewing window. So up the path. Now it's designed to be very stappled, or what do you call it, dappled viewing here. But when you walk around to this side, it's a lot more obvious. So you can see the female and the male is about to go in for another swim. Yes. That's so you could see what I was talking about with the, what do you call it, the effect. But yeah, and then over the side here, you get a little look into our cuviers or cuviers, whatever you call them, dwarf caiman. And I don't know why I did this, but I made a little structure with a couple of the caiman statues and lit it up for some reason. Here's the caiman again. This one's apparently liking the water jet. Anyway, so when you'd walk down these stairs, then you would get your first little glimpse inside into our hippopotamus enclosure. But yeah, the hippos. Walk around. Still got a garden in this area. So you get another view of them. And then there's this little cheeky look here, which allows you to look at them in the water. There's one. And so you'd come around here, you get a little cheeky glimpse into the southern white rhino habitat. But you come up over here, this gives you a glimpse into the black rhinoceros enclosure, the black rhino. Anyhow, you come down here and you can see into the hippo enclosure. Again, into the white rhinos. And you can come around here. Now, I tried to make this like a... I don't even really know what my idea was here, but obviously chain link, you'd almost argue that that wouldn't hold back a rhino. So I doubled it up with the electric fence, almost to act as like a hot wire, for example. But to allow not a super sturdy normal rhino fence. See the white rhinos, there's 3, a male, 2 girls. They're a nice model. I can't wait to see these sort of things in Planet Zoo 2. They should look amazing if the things we have seen are anything to go off. This is your other view into the black rhino enclosure. So you can also see the hippos from there as well. I forgot to mention, so when you're sort of at like this area, when you're about here, the other enclosure for the black rhinos does have a little viewing window. It's divided between 2 electric fences, but it's supposed to give that little view into the background. So down here, which is a perfect example, when you're down here, oh gosh, we're going for a swim apparently. Oh, hello, that's a great little oh, they're all in the water. But anyway, when you're here, dang, you're a bit low actually, but if you're on like the ladder or whatever, the stairs, it's designed to be able to get seen right there. No big fencing besides the hot wire, we'll call it. Alright, so we're back at this walkway here where we took a left. Now we're going to take a right. Now this enclosure is massive for what I've got in here. Initially it had just a pair of sloth bears. Anyway, I ended up adding 4, I believe. Yeah, 4 sloth bears, which still, the enclosure size is crazy. Anyway, yeah, the enclosure is insane for the sloth bears. They've got this little cave. There's another sloth bear. So same concept with here, chain link fence. One, there's a moat, so they can't actually get up here. Well, that's the theory anyway. Yeah, Indian rhinos and Nilga. So yeah, they're sharing this enclosure, and then I have a nice big watering hole, and then this area up here. So the concept behind this is these poles prevent the rhinoceros from getting up here. Only the nilgas can, and it's meant to be like a refuge in case the rhinos get in a bit of a mood. The nilgas can have a little retreat in which the rhinos cannot access, which actually works in game as well. The rhinos cannot fit up there. This is our gorilla enclosure, which also again very big. But you got this view here. There's one of the girls. You can see some of the structure. Now these guys have a couple different options. So you can sneak up here. Same thing in these sort of spots, which it's low, hot wire / electric fence. This bridge is very oddly shaped, but I'm just going to roll with it. Alternatively, if you don't want to come up over the top and see them, you just maintain your walk along here to where you got the glass panels, and then you can see into the habitat again. So yeah, that's the gorillas. Then along here, Galapagos tortoise. So there's a few of them. Again, just cause they were like a filler animal. And I love reptiles, I'm a reptile guy. hence the name. And then here, so a bit more landscaping, a little peek into an enclosure where you have the feeding tray and into the hide. So you walk up in here, you can see it right there. Now this is designed to give a dappled look into the into the hide. That's why the grass is there. But here we have our pair of cheetahs. Well, actually, that's just one of them. The other one's somewhere else. But this enclosure holds a pair of cheetahs. Where the other one is, I'm not actually entirely sure. But yes, that is our cheetah enclosure. We can come and have a look here. Oh, there it is. So you can come up here and you can look over. So I got our cheetahs. And on this side, as you can see, the lions, West African lion. So this visibility here, I love the noises. Such a shame the male model is a bit average in this game, but again, if Planet Zoo is to go off anything, it should be good. Now we have a pride of, I think it's 6 girls. Yeah, 6 girls and 1 male in here. Lovely. But yeah, that's it so far. Let's kick into standard mode and have a bit of an overview. So the lion enclosure, like I said, big enclosure of 7 lions, but it's good. It gives a bit more of a real zoo vibe of needing to almost actually search for the animals. Yeah, so cool. But yeah, lion enclosure, cheetah enclosure. Again, same thing. Pretty big for just the 2 of them, but nice. So that's a bit of an overview of the gorillas. Oh, look at that. All 4 of our bears. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give you an overview of the gharial. Not bad, not bad. The dwarf came in was just a little filler enclosure as well, so not crazily set up. The hippo is another one that I quite enjoyed. Hi. I thought the rhinos, again, there's not much to their enclosure, they're pretty average, but I thought the concept of being able to sort of see through into both is pretty cool. And limited greenery on the inside. I wasn't even crazily happy that I put them in here, but I thought it just blended in with the background a bit more. But obviously in realistic environments, these things are just going to get eaten, so I try to imply that they're getting barricaded by the rocks per se. And then you can see grass grows in here because the rhinos can't access it. Probably just asleep at the back, aren't they? Well, there's one of them anyway. Now you know that they are definitely at least in here. Oh. But yeah, anyway, that is the start of the zoo. Still got heaps of space to go. Now that I don't have any mods installed, the game runs so much smoother. Like I said, if there's any sort of feedback on this, or if anyone actually watches this and wants to watch enclosure builds, I did actually film a couple pre-doing this, but there's also been plenty like these ones and these ones I did not film the building of. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know, because I can certainly do it. As I said, unfortunately, along the likes of other YouTubers like Caesar Creates and Leaf and Rudy and ZHS plays, or ZSH, whatever it is. Those players, I am in no shape, way, or form great at doing the whole realistic thing. So don't expect anything like that. I try, and like with this sort of stuff, like I try to make them look nice. But with building backstages and so forth, like I said, I don't even build. The most creative thing I did in this enclosure, besides this being these guys being workshop items, I split this up, copied and pasted this to here and extended the ramp. And that is my, as far as I go when it comes to building my own things. Hopefully someone enjoys this and potentially wants to see more. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in another Planet Zoo video. Alright, take care. Thank you.